What's going on YouTube? Working on the 99 Chevrolet Suburban, the 5.7 4L60E. Doing the transmission pan, replacing the gasket, swapping out the fluids. But I'm going to be making a couple of videos on this, so I'm not going to be showing putting new fluids or whatever in it right now. All I'm wanting to do is drop the transmission pan, get it cleaned up, change out the filter, replace the gasket on it and everything. But trying to figure out how to get to your back bolts back here. You're gonna have to remove the bolt that goes there, and it's actually going to be this guy right here. I think it's a 14 on that. So remove that, get you a jack, get you a block, and you can see where I've got it braced up at back here. Just jack it up a little bit, and then you can get to it with a ratchet and a socket to get to those bolts back there. So once you get that loose, you want to leave a few of these bolts in and loosen up the rest of them, take them out. The pan's gonna drop, or you may have to pry the pan off, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it recording so y'all can see what's basically going on here, and hopefully I can get this thing set for you guys. Hang on just a second. Alright, so hopefully y'all can see the pan. Looks like y'all might be able to. I'm not going to take the bolts fully out or anything like that, because I am going to leave a few of them in while I'm loosening all these up around the edges here. And they're not on that tight, don't feel like. May end up having to get a extension on your ratchet. And what I am going to do after I get this out of here and get the bolts out is I am going to clean the bolts up, clean the threads really good, and which y'all seen in a few of my videos on how to do that. So I'm probably not going to video that part. I mean, I may just kind of show y'all kind of what to do if you're not sure exactly. But get these bolts out of here. As far as I know, all these here are basically all the same. They should all be the same size. So this is actually going to be part one of the transmission removal, because I got to replace the flywheel and everything, so get that all squared away, knocked out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take off the side bolts here for right now. I'm just going to dump them in a pan. I can get them cleaned up here in a bit. And I'm getting transmission fluid dripping already. And like I'm laying right underneath it, so I'm just going to loosen up the backs just a little bit. I'm not going to take them all the way out right now. Kind of doing this kind of by hand at the moment. I mean, yeah, I could have disconnected the cross member and probably made it a little bit easier because I've got to disconnect it anyway. But I didn't want to disconnect the cross member fully just yet because I still got to pull the drive shaft and stuff off. Have to switch back and forth. Pan ready real quick. Just kind of move it over here so that everything can drip in the damn pan. And it's probably not going to take that much to pull this thing off, probably. It's going to be a mess under here, I know that. Yeah, this gasket's wore out. A little bit too. If I didn't have to do the flywheel or the rear main in this vehicle, I would just simply change out the transmission fluid only. And plus gasket, filter, whatever. But this is long overdue for its fluid changes. And it's getting ready to drop. Just gotta put my pan underneath it, kind of let it drip out some. You want to hand me a towel real quick? I mean, yeah, I know most of you guys would have probably already had this thing popped off and popped loose or whatever. But I'm also laying on the ground, and I don't want to make a crap ton of mess while I'm under here, because I still gotta do what I gotta do to get everything else off, and I don't want to be laying around in transmission fluid. So just kind of letting it drip for right now and letting it do its thing for right now, and then when I get ready to, then I'll go ahead and pull the pan. So y'all can see, got the side bolts off. What I done was I left the back ones in there, so because this thing holds 5 quarts of transmission fluid. That's a lot of transmission fluid, so you want to do your best to not, you know, get it all over the ground and everything else and all that stuff. So makes it a little easier if you're probably on concrete, because then you can clean it up a little easier. But being on actual ground and stuff, it's, don't want to get, you know, let dogs and stuff or cats or whatever get into it. So I may pick up some kitty litter and throw out here too later on, just kind of help clean it up some. But it's about through dripping at the moment for the most part, but I'm gonna pull the pan and then it'll all dump down into the oil container. So I'll do that here in just a second. I'll be back. Okay, so actually I did remove the other side of the bolts that were over here on this side. I had 2 hanging up. So as you can see, I've got it pulled down just a little bit. I left my back bolts in, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those out of there here in a second. Alright, so as you can see, I got the transmission pan off, sitting right there. So I'm gonna let this sit and drain for a little bit and let it do what it's got to do, and then a little bit here in a minute I'll go ahead and take everything out over here, get it all cleaned up, get it scraped up, whatever, and should go from there. Alright, so as you'll see, I got the oil, or the transmission fan sitting up here, but pretty dark, don't look too bad. Got the magnet sitting here, and just pop that out. I can lay that over there and clean it up here in a second, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get y'all set down here real quick. Hopefully y'all can kind of see. Hang on, man, I'll be right back. I got something here. Alright, I had to go get my stand real quick so y'all can actually see what's going on here. So next is just taking a razor blade and coming through and pulling this gasket here and stuff up. And I'll go get my wire wheel and the drill and stuff and clean all this up real nice. Get the rest of this oil and stuff out of here. Get the pan cleaned up nice, and then put the new gasket, and then we'll put the filter and stuff back in. So we'll get that done here in just a minute. Alright, you can get you a razor blade and just come right up underneath the old gasket. Just work around it. If it peels up, that's fine, but try to get it all up in one shot. But if not, that's fine too. you're doing is just removing the gasket only. You're not trying to dig into the metal surface or anything like that. You don't want to scrape up too much of the metal because it can cause leaks over time. But after we get all the gasket, the bigger gasket stuff here off, then I'm going to come back with a wire wheel and really get it cleaned up. But before I do all that, I'm going to clean up the whole entire pan and then do that, so that way I can get it cleaned up a little easier. So I'll be right back.